CSL Dallas music team.
Please stand and join us in I Need You.
I need you, you need me, we're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me, we're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to I need you in my life. I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you in my life. You are important to me. I need you in my life.
I pray for you.
I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you in my life. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you in my life. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you in my life. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you in my life. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you in my life. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you in my life. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you in my life. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you in my life. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you in my life. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you in my life. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you in my life. You are important to me. I need you in my life.
Good morning. Welcome to CSL Dallas. We are so glad that you're joining us on this first day of August. We're grateful for you are staying spiritually connected here in the sanctuary and on live stream. No matter where you are, we invite you to check in on social media, let your friends know that you're here, and while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for lots of positive, practical spirituality. Let's say our purpose together. CSL Dallas is a place to call your spiritual home because we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. Please mark September 5th on your calendar for a very special event in the life of our community. It's called Together We Rise 2.0, Welcome Home. The flood restoration is almost complete, and we've spruced up and reimagined parts of our campus, including Joy Village and Pankey Hall, as well as Practitioners Peace Room and Coaching Center, And we've upgraded the platform, our sound and live streaming equipment, and expanded our recording studio. Now we want to celebrate all this together with you. So everyone is included in the ritual. Those attending in person will bless and rededicate the sacred space that is our campus with candles, affirmative prayers, and special music. And our community online will also share in their own special music and blessing of our new virtual sacred space. So join us at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, September 5th. Now today at 1 o'clock online, we're offering a forgiveness workshop facilitated by practitioner Doreen Breedlove. Would you like to finally forgive someone, yourself, or perhaps a circumstance or situation? The practice of forgiveness is one of the most important contributions to the healing of ourselves and the world. Through deep reflection, meditation, experiential processes, and music, we give ourselves the gift of peace through forgiveness. Please register at csldallas.org. That's today at 1 o'clock. And next Saturday at 7 p.m., Doreen is leading a drum circle. Join us on the first Saturday of every month and connect in person and drum together to raise our vibration and feel the transformative energy from the rhythm of percussion. This is a family-friendly event, so bring the kids and bang a drum. There's so much happening here, both in person and online at CSL Dallas. Make sure you check our website frequently, csldallas.org. Now, I wanted to mention, so you can be thinking about it, on the way in today, I did notice that we have a table out in the breezeway. One more week of being able to support our Gooch Elementary uniform drive. So we're very close to achieving and exceeding our goal. So please, if you haven't yet participated, visit someone at the Gooch table today and support the uniform drive for our scholars at Gooch Elementary. Oh, and you can do this online as well. And we'll talk more about how to contribute online later in the service. Now, let's connect with one another as we sing a beautiful community song, I See the Kingdom of God in You.
See the kingdom of God in you, moving in everything that you do. No matter what, this will always be true. I see the kingdom of God in you. See the presence of God in you, moving in everything that you do. No matter what, this will always be true. I see the presence of God in you.
I ask you to let my words be your words. Knowing that God is here right now. That I know God is in me, works as me and through me. And that the kingdom of God is in me all around. In everything that I do, in every word that I say, in every smile that I extend, and in everyone I see, I recognize the God in them. Because not only does the God flow in me, through me, and as me, it flows in every one of us, in us, as us, and through us. And today there is so much gratitude for being together here, that we acknowledge that God flowing within. So it is. So it is.
I feel the power.
The power of God in you, moving in everything that you do. No matter what,
morning. We're so grateful that you're here. We're just so you know, where you can see in the sanctuary, and those of you online, you may not notice this, but we're doing all that we can to ensure that our community stays safe and healthy as this wonderful little thing called COVID-19 just keeps sort of moving in the world. And so we've backed our chairs up for now. We're asking all of the people that are engaging, leadership, singers, greeters, practitioners, to wear masks when we're around you. And currently the masks are optional, and it's requested that unvaccinated people wear masks. So we're just going to keep moving, and y'all move with us so that we can keep our doors open and allow everyone to be here as they want to. So I'm just so grateful that everyone is here this morning. I'm grateful that we have someone that some of you, many of you already know, but we want to welcome her to the staff of CSL Dallas. So this morning, I want to share with you that, you know, the cycle of life sometimes, like the tide, it goes out and then it comes back in. So we've had this beautiful practitioner in our community that has served the community, even taught our Joy Village years ago and was the Joy Village coordinator, our youth and family ministry coordinator, and then she wanted to go off into Hawaii and to, you know, sail those kind of waters, and then she decided to come back to Dallas. And so, as you've already heard this morning, she's doing a workshop this afternoon on forgiveness, drum circles. She's just fully engaged from the moment she stepped back into Dallas. And if you can't figure out who this might be so far, I am going to let you know and invite practitioner Doreen Breedlove up here, because we are excited. I'm gonna keep my distance since I'm vaccinated, but I'm still keeping my mask on for other people. I just love that you said yes, that you are the perfect person, especially once again, but in this season and time of our Joy Village with so many kids ready to be around each other again, that you said yes to be our Joy Village coordinator. So Doreen is now officially a part of our staff, and we're excited. We want to welcome her and say, welcome home again. You know, we say when we tie you to the universe, we never know. You never leave the heart of CSL Dallas, and you came back. You're one of the few that came back, and we're just so happy that you're here. Do you want to say anything real quick? Or?
Aloha.
All right, so we're so glad that you're here, Doreen, and I'm going to give you a hug. And we're so glad that you're back. This is from everybody at CSL Dallas. We're so grateful that you're here. Yeah. Yeah, and Doreen is reporting to our managing director, Brianna, who you know was she's back there, our previous Joy Village coordinator. So we're just gotten double good, right? So really excited. So let's sink in to this song. Yes? Okay. Oh, we're going to stand up.
Stand up and dance while you sing into it.
Through me, beyond question, steady and strong. Power and presence is my essence. Been with Wow. Wow, I don't know if you were like me, but I'm kind of really appreciating this new music director over here. All those little licks in there. I'm like, ooh, that adds something special. Welcome, Kirby. If you haven't met Kirby before, and the entire CSL Dallas team continues to make its magic. Yes? Beautiful voices. So my name is Tracy Brown, in case there is anyone who hasn't met me before or heard me before online. And I am doubly blessed. Last month I got to kick off the month of July. This month I get to kick off the month of August. August 1st, new month, new theme. Are you ready? So our theme this month is inseparable connection. Inseparable connection. Just like the words as you would expect them to mean, if you know what the words mean. Inseparable, right? We cannot be separated. There is nothing that can separate us, and which means connection. Now you might see that those are like, why would you use two words that kind of mean the same thing? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But this theme this month is really giving us the opportunity for 5 full weeks to over and over again explore this idea that each one of us is inseparably connected to spirit. Spirit and I are one. And that because that is true for every one of us, then we are each and all connected to each other because we are all connected to the source of all life. So we know this. This is not new to us. However, we don't always think about it. We don't always remind ourselves of both things are true at the same time. So for the next 5 weeks, that's what we are going to be reminding ourselves of every week. And this Ernest Holmes quote is one of the dozens of quotes that gives us the opportunity to connect in that both are true. The physical man, or the physical human being, is in unity with all other physical or objective elements in the universe. And the physical man, humanity, is in unity with the invisible source from which they come. It's not either or, it's both and. And that's where we're going to go this month. And so we decided it would be really cool today to kick off the month with both Karen and I sharing some information and some ideas and some inspiration and some stories with you. And when we talked about it, it just made sense to think about the concept of Namaste and the concept of Ubuntu. By show of hands, for those of you who are in the room, how many of you know what Namaste is? Okay, put your hand down. How many of you know what Ubuntu is? Okay, not nearly as many. So if you're out in Facebook land and if you're in the room, just get ready to go on a journey with us from Namaste to Ubuntu.
Yeah, are you ready? Okay, well let's start with the first one. So the interesting thing is Namaste. How many people have said that lots of times in their life so far? Okay, Good many of you. Well, the word namaste originates from Sanskrit, and it's the ancient language of India. So it's coming from India. And the first place that I want to start is us's and we's in the West. We've actually not been pronouncing it correctly. Really? It's true. So when I'm just saying the way we pronounce it, I've been pronouncing it up till now, this namaste, right? Namaste. Well, if you choose to, you can take up the proper way to pronounce it. And what it is namaste. Namaste. Let's try that. Namaste. Namaste. See? It like namaste. So I think you're going to freak out some people from India and that come from that culture when you see them and say namaste. They're going to go, wow, they know how to pronounce it. Because that is actually the real pronunciation instead of the commonly held version of it. And it's not inherently wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong if you continue to say it that way. But we want to honor as best we can the ancient roots from which things come. And this is a way that we can honor this. And so when we honor it with the original pronunciation, then we're bringing this even more into the roots of this oneness of life itself. So at the base level, namaste is a salutation of respect and reverence. It's a traditional Indian greeting, and it literally translates to, I bow to you. So nama or namas is the meaning bow, and te meaning te meaning, if I can find my spot, I bow to you, and te meaning you. So I bow to you is where it comes from. And Hinduism believes that God resides in everyone. Sound familiar? Yeah. So this notion of respect is deeply rooted in the Hindu culture, and in the ancient scriptures, it emphasizes this practice of showing equal amount of respect and hospitality to everyone. No one is left out, be it elders, be it family members, or strangers that you meet on the street. And then they're no longer strangers. So this is a way that you could greet someone. Namaste is typically spoken with this slight bowing, not a big bow, and a hand gesture, and it's called the Anjali Mudra. So you're placing your palms together with your fingers up, your thumbs are touching, you're placing it right here sort of just above the breastbone, and you're doing a very slight bow. Namaste. I've been practicing that for several days. Namaste, right? And so this gestures an opening of the heart, and it manifests our link when we do this to the divinity, the holy spark that is in each of us. Because of this, what we tend to, the English translation, we sort of take things up and then we expand on it. And many of you may have already heard that when we say namaste, we're saying the light in me honors the light in you. Yes? The divine in me recognizes the divine in you. And if you do a simple search, you're going to see, honor the place where the entire universe dwells. Just going to give you a few more to see how they sync with you. So as you say, namaste, I honor the place where the entire universe dwells. I bow to the place in you that is love, light, and joy. I like that one too. And when you and I bow to our true nature, we are one. Another one that you can find is, my soul recognizes your soul. We are the same. We are one. And then the other one that I also found is, honor the place in you that is the same as it is in me. What a beautiful way to greet someone. Namaste. And so it represents that we are all one. And it affirms that beneath these outer trappings that we may think that we're actually separate when we're actually not, and that you appear different from me, even though, yes, you appear different from me, you're actually not different from me, because we are more the same than we are different. And so by saying Namaste, it's an affirmation that each of us are choosing to identify with God consciousness rather than this individual ego or something that we believe that perhaps we've been taught, I'm either superior or inferior to you or to any other being on this planet. But that's not what Namaste means and represents. So this Sanskrit word is truly a beautiful representation of oneness and our real understanding of the reality of life itself and how reality works and shows up in this thing called the universal presence. I pulled a quote from a beautiful translation of a 1,000-year-old spiritual text. It's called the Recognition Sutras. And the scholar Christopher Wallace describes how understanding the essence of oneness might affect our approach to life. He says that once you become aware of the true nature of reality, everything you do becomes an act of reverence. How about that? Everything we each do becomes an act of reverence. Simply living your ordinary daily life with full awareness becomes a complete practice of meditation. Take a breath on that. It's like, what if every day our life represented like a meditation practice, not just when we're on the cushion or sitting in the chair. A perfect form of worship, an offering to all beings and to being itself, because there is only one in the universe. All actions are in truth the divine exploring itself. I really like that. So the divine is exploring itself. It is reverencing itself, it's worshiping itself, meaning I honor you, I hold you up, I revere you, and it's this beautiful practice of exploring itself, this divine. And that leads us into our first spiritual principle and foundational principles that we teach here in Science of Mind at CSL Dallas, and that is, there is one infinite reality. And we call it many names. Does not matter what you choose to call it. You can call it several things, because it's certainly not limited to God or life or universal presence, the thing itself, infinite intelligence, first cause. The one infinite reality is undivided, complete, and whole within itself. It reminds me of a story. And you may have heard this. It's about a farmer, and this farmer, year over year, would grow this award-winning corn. And each year he would enter this corn into, the contest that they have at the fair every year. And every year, this farmer won the blue ribbon. In one particular year, a newspaper reporter came to the farmer and said, hey, there's something interesting that I just heard, and I want to check it out about how you grow your corn. In interviewing and asking questions to this farmer, the reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seed with his neighbors. He gave away all of the great blue ribbon seed to his neighbors. And so this reporter, when he found this out, when talking to him, said, so how can you afford to share your very best seed with your neighbors? Because they're entering the same corn competition, right? And how do you do this? And why do you do this? And this farmer said, well, you see, didn't you know that the wind picks up the pollen from this ripening corn, it swirls it about, throws it about, and it goes and moves from field to field. And so if my neighbors grow inferior corn and it swirls from field to field, then it's steadily going to degrade the corn that I grow as well. And so if I'm to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors out. I believe that this is a really true example of Namaste that we can use in our life because it's all connected. It's all undivided. It shows up in nature this way. There's no way that you can contain a river and not let it spread. You know, anything we grow, it's all one. And so I'm excited that Lainey gets to sing one of her original songs, Respect 2.0, to help us get this at a cellular level at this point. Do you want this?
I wrote this song about 10 years ago. It's crazy. It's been so long. And I love a chance to break it out. And I'm really grateful for the topic. It starts with me, so I will look inside, and then I'll be the change that I see happening on the outside. Then I can honor you, my sisters and my brothers. I see the light in you. When I see the truth, I see you. We can't step up to the man when we all unite. Hold my hand, we'll take a stand. Let freedom come without a fight. Joy is your birthright. Loving is your destiny. Be who you came to be. Know your divinity. Don't you see? If what you give is what you get, give a little respect. Respect. If what you give is what you get, give a little respect. Respect. If what you give is what you get, give a little respect. Respect. If what you give is what you get, give a little respect. It starts with us. So join the human race. See the world through eyes of wonder. Our love is gonna change this place. When I open my heart, I know we're all connected. So if I'm loving you, then I'm loving me. Children, that's all we need. If what you
little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect. Oh, 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 love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect. Give what you get. These are what you get. Then give a little bit. Give a little respect. Love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect. Love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect. Love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect. Love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little respect.
And don't you forget about it.
Christine, love a little, give a little, live a little, get a little, respect. Wow. I love that. I love that. I love that. And it's such a good connection for what we're talking about today, because it is true that when we are engaging with people from the perspective of Namaste, that we are recognizing the respect that we have for the core of who that person is and what is shared, as Karen talked about. And when we move into the mindset of Ubuntu, we actually recognize the same thing, that we are both giving and getting the respect that is the base of our humanity, that is the base of our divinity expressing in humanity. Now, when I asked you earlier how many of you were familiar with the term Ubuntu, very few of you raised your hands in the room. And I know that out in Facebook land on the live stream, you think that we can't see you, but that is not true. And I recognize that about the same little percentage of maybe 5% of you were familiar with it. So just like Karen gave you a different pronunciation than you may have used before for Namaste, I want you to practice another pronunciation so that you are not stumbling over it, right? So, Ubuntu. Repeat after me. Ubuntu. There are 3 U's and they all have the U sound. So it's really easy. It just looks a little different because you didn't grow up in South Africa speaking Zulu. So it would look a little strange or different to you. Now say it with me 3 times. Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. The emphasis is on the middle syllable. Ubuntu. So what does Ubuntu mean? Ubuntu loosely translates into I am because we are. I am because we are. This idea, this South African concept of Ubuntu is more than a word. It is a philosophy of life. It is a philosophy that says that I could not exist except that you exist, that I am human. Archbishop Desmond Tutu has been interviewed many, many times because he's the one who is credited with really introducing this beyond Africa, especially into the Western world. And he has been interviewed many times where he says that in the philosophy of Ubuntu, the concept of humanity is really a synonym. Ubuntu means humanity in a way that you could not be human without other human beings. He uses the example of thinking about when you were growing up and you were learning to speak. Other human beings taught you language and grammar and the proper way to speak. Just about everything we know as humans, we learned from other humans in terms of our behavior, in terms of our values, right? So the divinity that is the truth of us, our reality, our innermost reality, gets expressed through the way that we engage with others. And so the way we learn to be human is we learn to be human with and from other humans. I am because we are. And I love this concept. I love this concept so much. And Ernest Holmes wrote about not Ubuntu. He didn't know the word Ubuntu. But this is one of the quotes that I turn to a lot of times to remind me that I actually am not separate from, I'm not separate from Randy. I'm not separate from anyone that I see. I'm not separate. I am united with all. I am one with the eternal light itself. And this presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet. This presence of spirit within me tends to heal everything I touch. This presence within me that is spirit brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. If I choose that, if I remember that. If I remember that I and spirit are one, and that is what is experienced in me and through me, then that is what everyone I come into contact with will experience as well. So we don't mean to imply that you have to choose between Namaste or Ubuntu. They are both working at the same time. We are applying it in the way that we engage with everyone. But there are times when I want to intentionally choose to recognize the uniqueness in you, and we are one. There's a spark of God in you. The divine life is a part of who you are. And it's a part of me, and it is what makes us the same. It makes us equal. I bow to that in you. And there are other times when I want to elevate the concept of Ubuntu into the way that I engage with you, because we are each unique and different. But my experience of life does depend on and reflect the ways that you and I are different but interdependent. Marianne Williamson reminds us we are woven from many diverse threads, yet we make one piece of fabric. We are one and many at the same time. I am Tracy, and Karen is Karen. And we are, Namaste, seeing the unique and the sameness that we share. And even though we are not moving any closer than this, we are Ubuntu in the way that we support each other, share with each other, learn from each other, and depend upon each other as we go through the world. Every man is potentially my neighbor. Every woman, every member of the human family is potentially my neighbor. But do I recognize that? And Howard Thurman reminds us that neighborliness, neighborly love is not dependent on the space, the physical proximity. It's not dependent on where we are. It's qualitative. It's the quality of how we engage with one another that demonstrates that I see you as my neighbor. That's what makes the difference. And each one of us must love our neighbor directly, clearly, permitting no barriers between. So Karen, I have one quick question for you. When I first read this, one must love their neighbor directly, clearly, and permitting no barriers between, I heard in my mind, yeah, that's why Karen talks about be love and pass it on. So do you see a connection, or how for you is that connection between what you're famous for be love and pass it on, and what Howard Thurman says here?
Yeah, I think totally what Be Love has done for me is to remove the barriers as best I can, so that when it's my daily practice, though, no matter how someone is showing up, what their opinion, what their beliefs, all of this, I still see and know that no matter what, we are the one being, and there is no barrier between me and them. And so I bring them in, or I bring myself, and it's this like, we are one thing. And I that's why I also love Ubuntu, because it is, I am because we are. I could not be who I am without every person that's come before me and or is still here, right? Yes. I just wouldn't, and nothing about my life would be the same.
So why don't you join us in saying, in fact, please, if you're in the room and if you're at home, please stand. Just stand if you're able to. And Karen and I want to say Namaste, and invite you to say it to each other. Namaste. And then let's all together accept this idea of Ubuntu by saying Ubuntu out loud 3 times with energy and enthusiasm. Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. And let's anchor this in prayer. Yes.
Yeah, so I invite you to stay standing if you'd like, or sit, whatever is most comfortable, and go into that field of I am because we are. That beingness, that causality of life itself. I think in this moment in time, in the evolution of life, the consciousness of life itself, I'm recognizing and realizing that there are things happening right now in humanity to show us the truth of reality. That we are all connected. That just like the farmer's seed, everything swirls together. One thing's for sure, that this pandemic is showing us this. And yet the ego attempts to bring things forward, to keep these barriers between us, to divide us, to let the anger rise and the judgment. But this is an opportunity to come from this place of Namaste, Ubuntu, and oneness. And so it's within this that I recognize that there's only one thing happening here. And it is divinely present It is divinely guided. It is divinely right action taking place. That there is something so divine about everything in the way it shows up in this cosmos, in this universe, in the seen and unseen. Because all of life outpictures as boundless love, peace, harmony. It shows up as abundance, creativity and beauty, and all the various goodness that life expresses and expands and is for more life. And as I know that this one life is this, I know that I am that I am. I am the conscious, awakening, awareness, movement, thoughts, actions, words, gestures, grace of life showing up. And it's the only time it'll show up as this. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I absolutely know it's the truth of every single person in the sound of this voice and breathing on this beautiful, divinely given planet right here and right now. And so I'm blessed to be able to speak the word on this new August day and absolutely declare and command that each of us awaken to the reality of life, to the spiritual magnificence throughout all eternity, from which humanity could even bring language in to describe something greater than ourselves. It's been written down for thousands of years, for eons, that there's only one. Because I am, you are. Because you are, I am. That there's no barrier. There's nothing separating. Just like the aspen tree's roots to everything else in nature. It's this co-creativeness of life. Not only on this planet, but on planets we don't even know about, and other galaxies, and probably, yes, other universes. Because this life expands, and this is the time where we get to awaken to this notion and show up as this. So anytime any of us has a thought that you are not me, we let it go. We release it. Every person is our neighbor. Every person is our parent. Every person is our family. Every person is our friend. Every person is our coworker. Every person is those that we hold so dear to us. Because they all live in us now. And so I know that we drop the ego and we embrace the truth of who we are. This is one life. This is one love. This is one body. And we take care of it as best we can. I see the divinity in you. You see the divinity in me, because that is the truth of who we are. And so I release these words into the universal law. And the law makes this manifest, because God knows we need it right here and right now. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Karen and Dr. Brown. Terrific, terrific talk today. Now we would like to invite our greeters to come forward with our sacred giving bowls. This is the time when we look at the spiritual support we receive at CSL Dallas. We look into our hearts and we look into our pocketbooks. We hope you'll decide to support the good works in our community by making a generous contribution. Thank you, greeters. For everyone online, there are a few ways to give. Donate on Facebook, donate at csldallas.org, or text give by texting 972-954-4404. Now, It's that time of year when kids are getting ready to go back to school, and that means you can too. We've got a powerful lineup of transformative classes, especially for you. All these courses are offered simultaneously in person and online in a blended environment unless otherwise noted. Coming up in September, you've got three to choose from. And that was right. That's in September. These are coming up. So you have some time to plan. Foundations class is beginning September 9th. This is where it all begins, where you build the foundation for the life of your dreams. One evening a week for 10 weeks, Foundations introduces you to this amazing practical spirituality, science of mind, taught by practitioners Christine Volkmer and Bert Hedden. Second, spiritual economics. That's beginning Monday night, September 6th. Prosperity is your birthright. I'm going to say that again. Prosperity is your birthright. Believe it or not, this class is for you. If you want to heal your relationship with money, create a healthy financial life for yourself, or build on the abundance that you already have, then Spiritual Economics, How to Live an Abundant Life, is for you. The class will be led by Reverend Karen and will give you really powerful tools to bring forth the financial guidance that you are seeking. And then third, Inward Journey. This is the ultimate 30-week journey of personal growth. It's a course of evolving consciousness and applying the tools for co-creative living. With Inward Journey, you will release limitations and stagnant patterns while learning to ignite the passion within. It's taught by practitioner Sherry Wood. Now, you need to have taken several Science of Mind classes prior to entering Inward Journey. So please check out the details on our website. As always, the csldallas.org website is the place to go and to be in the know. Now, shortly you'll be able to get your affirmative prayer on. Right after this, you can join our licensed spiritual practitioners and coaches here if you're in the sanctuary under the stained glass window. And for those of us online, there's a private one-on-one Zoom room, and the link is right there in the chat feed. So now let's join together and sing out this celebration with Love Can Move the World.